Good evening, everyone, and welcome. We are Random Encounter Productions. I'm Cody Stone. With me tonight, we have...
Caitlin playing Fabelfrost, the Ace Genasi Phoenix Soul Sorcerer.
I'm Megan. I'm playing Sarai Landir, the Eladrin Glamour Bard.
I'm Eric, and I'm playing Sirach, the Arakakra Horizon Walker Ranger.
Howdy y'all, I'm Maz. I'm playing Talroth Oakenblade, the slightly singed Wood Elf Scout.
All right, so before we get into tonight's adventure, real quick, couple of announcements. First and foremost, Caitlin, you want to tell us about Norse Foundry?
In fact, I do. I'm prepared with my massive fucking boulder to show off that has saved me many, many times. Norse Foundry is our official dice sponsor for this show for Disasters and Danger. They make metal and gemstone dice galore. They are galorgeous. And this will dent your table or your enemies. You can use our discount code REPRPG, that is REPRPG, for 15% off any of your orders. Any of those dice. I think everyone has some. Do the beauty blogger, babe. Do the beauty blogger. Yeah, nice. All gorgeous. There it is. Yep. It's that other hand. I don't know why. Everything else, nothing else changes. You put up the second hand and it goes, yeah, and Megan is showing off our dice boxes. They so nice, and Mars just his collection of rogue dice with which to stealth and stab. So make sure you go pick those up. We're putting the link in chat. Head on over there. And if you have some Norse Foundry dice and you're in our Discord, make sure you show them off in our Tools of the Trade channel.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Meg and Eric, you guys talk to us about the archives.
Yeah, Eric, talk to us about it. Take it away, son.
Yeah. Come watch it, Thursdays. Back to you, Cody. No, The Archives is a wonderful talkback show put together by myself and Megan, where we go and we talk about what happened on Mondays of Disasters and Danger. We talk to you about the story, things you might have missed, things that we missed during the game that we picked up later, and in our thought processes we're like, wait a second, that sounds like a thing. And it's a fun time. We go on a lot of tangents, and we get deep, we get personal, and we get to the bottom of some things. So make sure to come on over, and we constantly bemoan the fact that this party just doesn't have a healer. So come on over and have a wonderful time. Thursday nights. Well, soon. Yeah.
Well, there you go. And Mars, you want to tell us about Lance Orlando?
Why, yes I do. So, for those of you who have tuned in before and heard Kez talk about it, Kez is currently the Vice President of Lance Orlando, and I am the Training Committee Chair, which means I have a lot of work to do to make sure that nobody hurts themselves while learning how to swing live steel at each other. But all that being said, Lance does stand for Live Action Novelty Combat Entertainment. We do perform in the Central Florida area. We have performances coming up that we are getting ready for both the Orlando Renaissance Fair and the Lady of the Lakes Festival. Now, we are still trying to make sure everything is safe, that everything is following CDC guidelines for COVID. We want to make sure every one of our members is healthy first and foremost. But we are getting much, much closer to getting all that hammered out and details worked out. And we will be announcing probably in the next few weeks when our training sessions will start back up and potentially auditions for these upcoming shows.
That sounds wonderful. So thank you for letting us know about that. We will check those out. Stay tuned for further information. Last but not least, do join us back here on Wednesdays for Through the Breach. It is our Malifaux RPG that we are super excited about it. And definitely follow us on the socials so that you can know as our schedule does continue to change. This is a flux month. So starting next month, hopefully we will have a very consistent schedule. Something happened. Caitlin, would you like to share with the rest of the class?
Nothing. Megan fucking posted and memed you. Goddamn broke me.
Okay. Okay. Well, good.
If you'd like to see what I posted in the
that
meme,
right there isn't a endorsement for joining the Discord.
that's
I
right.
don't
For
know what
just
is.
for just $1 a month, so $12 a year, you join our Patreon. You get access to our Discord, and you can see.
That is
really,
free right
really
now. It's just they
memes.
can just come in and see this fucking bullshit. I'm so sorry. I'm done. I quit.
Oh, that's
I have
great.
to leave.
That's the best advertisement for the Discord we've ever had.
My mom called from beyond the grave. She said I have to go home.
Your mom said you're staying and having an
Or home.
adventure.
Listen, you don't know.
I do know.
Oh my God, that's God. At least I know my cosplay for the next con I go to.
No.
Well, yep. It's all downhill from here, folks. We've peaked early. Everybody just
Go fight some dragons. Yeah.
yeah. Let's just be on board about it now. All right, let's get into tonight's adventure. So, our adventure takes place in the lands of Lickdracht, lands of myth and legend, and here beyond the western veil, beyond the Warden's Wall. Here, there be dragons. Our heroes had recently excavated the Fist of the Forge, a former fire giant dwarven stronghold, a massive gauntlet, and a key, one of the remaining necessary keys to the Black King's chamber. A dwarven monarch of old who had led his dwarven and giant kin out of Eastern Lickdracht, only for them to be set upon by these dragons. And so, our heroes, having come up with a bit of loot and some fun things, have recently returned to the House of Shields, the only occupied dwarven stronghold, and they do seem to have brought with them the remaining fire giants. I believe there were, what, 6 of them? Yeah, 6 remaining fire giants coming from the Fist of the Forge.
Our new best friends.
Yes, you guys are tremendously deep friends, and so that is where we're gonna pick up. You guys are you waited the full 3 days at the Fist of the Forge. You contacted Beardrin and let him know it was safe, and so you are now back in the House of Shield. What would you guys like to get up to now that you're back over here, back in town?
First thing that I would probably do is help get the fire giants in, talk to Beardrin, but also let him know about everything we found down there, including that nice big old mithril dragon armor, and just kind of subtly hint it might be put to better use if it was broken down.
Right. Does seem like apologies still figuring out the right placement. It does seem like it would do us well. Some of that in, but have to be done cautiously. Dragon types are not known for I can set some people about it, see what we can do.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about how good it might still be, but there's a big old fossilized dragon that's also kind of buried down there. He big, like he very big.
Right. Let's see. Come on. Talk to me, Beardrin. How you doing? No, that does make sense. There were a few of the greater worms were they were rumored to have taken to the battlefield themselves, but much myth and legend said to just generations back. It's historical fact versus what might have been early embellishment. The forge, the feast of the forge, the last of the stronghold. All. By then, stories say that most of our ancestors, it was not a battle to be won, it was a battle to act as much as high a toll possible.
Well, if they got one of them big old dragons killed off down there, I'd say they did a good job,
It's,
relatively speaking.
sounds as though they did, and by doing that, I'm sure they and their ancestors proud. Well then, and I see that the other fire giants are settling in. Some of their kin that here are definitely happy to see. It has been a bolstering moment for that and the relics of armor, pieces of wood that you brought back with you. Been well, we appreciate it and we continued everything and for us there.
It's been an adventure to say the least.
If there's nothing else, you'll excuse me.
Yeah, I'll just bow off and just start going doing something else.
Yeah, Beardrin goes about his way. You know, they have some things to kind of sort out, and you know, there's some logistics to bringing in 6 more giants, but they don't seem to be. They're not in any way upset about it. It's just, you know, setting about the work and the day, for what it is. What else are people up to?
Saride has shifted into autumn before they left.
Okay.
So she's cast comprehend language on herself, and she's following the new fire giants around and casting message, so that she can talk to them and they can talk back to sort of weird
Bridge the gap.
well, I mean, like, I know that, like, the people here speak giant, so it's a thing, but I don't know, just to, like, Disney chaperone. She's got her plaid riding crop and stuff, and she's, you know.
Oh, the blue and the hat and everything.
Yeah, what were those? The ambassadors?
It was the Madeline books. The little.
Well, yeah, no, they are.
Oh, but
they
the actual in the parks. Got it.
Yeah, in the parks they are not ambassadors because that's a specific title for someone else. They are they're the Disney tour guides is what they are.
And they're like, but they're like special tour guides, and they're dressed like jockeys for no reason. So
Yeah, my buddy was one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, that. But she's kind of helping to get them settled, and not that she can. This is not her place, but she's just really helpful, and she wants to make sure everyone's eating and stuff like that. However, she would like to sort of pass by Talroth and a question. What is it we're supposed to be helping them find next? We found the shield, we found the gauntlet. What's next?
I think it was the axe that we found. The key of bonking. I think that might have been the axe. I mean, it doesn't even look like much of an axe. Found the fist. I think it's the helmet that's next. Frost giants.
All right. So do we want to start planning that then?
I think we might need a day to kind of recoup and figure out what they know first, because I'm still a little tired from the last couple days. That was a little more intense than I expected.
I'm sorry you're tired.
Oh, no. I'll just wave my hand. Nah, just don't get me wrong. Just going from that extreme heat probably to some extreme cold. I might need to prepare a little better.
You know, you did very, very well out there. Your stealthing is really getting so much better, and you're quite an accomplished fighter, Taroth. You should be proud.
I'll be the first to admit I got lucky up there with that sumbitch. I mean, half the time I was screaming. It's like I was screaming at him. I was screaming at myself, saying, "Don't miss! Don't miss! Don't miss!"
I mean, it's not just you though. You've got the rest of us.
Yeah, I know. I mean, hell, I would have loved it if Treasure had gotten her big old golden ass up there to start swinging at him to take a little bit of the pressure off me, but oh man, that guy.
You had Thosin there, and wasn't he blocking you most of the time?
Well, yeah, Thosin was up there, but don't get me wrong. I'm talking about when you just dropped me off up there in front of Mr. I'm just going to piece myself together from all the guts and bones, and yeah, I was lucky to keep my lunch down on that one.
Yeah, no, that was foolish of me, and I apologize. I need to stop yeeting you into the heat of battle. That's I overestimate you a bit, and I do apologize.
I think
Treasure is nice.
Oh yeah, no, she is damn nice, but she still owes me like a few hundred gold for all the drinks over these past few years.
She's nice.
Oh,
But
she still owes you her drinks?
you've hung out with her. You've seen how much that woman drinks.
Yes, but you know, maybe as an act of friendship, you could let it slide and buy her a drink. Like, without credit, without holding it against her or anything.
Well, I was about to say that's how the whole tab started, but
Well, if you're not keeping tabs, then it's a completely different thing. And then she doesn't have to worry about paying you back. And, you know, it could just be you doing something nice for her because you know that she likes drinking and she likes your company and such.
yeah. I mean, yeah. And I'm probably gonna. I got something I'm working on for her. I got one of them jewelry smiths working on some of that obsidian stuff that we pulled from Velx's place. So got a small little, like a thank you for keeping my dumbass alive gift.
You're making her jewelry?
Well, I ain't making it. I know how to make that stuff.
Talroth Wokenblade, you're getting her jewelry made.
Yeah, and
I never had you pegged for sentimental anything. That's very, very sweet.
I mean, I guess. What's sentimental mean?
God, now I don't even know. Like, shit, I don't know. I mean, sentimental, dumbass. You know, like thoughtful, caring. It's something when you care and you like, you love someone and you do things for them.
Yeah, she has hauled my ass out of the fire a few times.
Yes, she has. I mean, you know, the rest of us have as well. But I think it's very interesting that you keep mentioning that it's just Treasure.
Yeah, her and I've been running around for shit. I didn't know how many years at this point. Yeah, we just kind of got used. We just got used to each other.
Familiarity is important. You know, the first thing that Thosin ever gave me was a pair of earrings that he made.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, you swapped them out the last couple of days, right? Look nice.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I think it's important when you care about someone that you should give gifts. You know, jewelry's a good place to start. And obsidian is perfect for her.
Yeah, I mean, I've been hanging around that bag of shards for a while now. Oh, that reminds me, I should probably check on how my sword's doing.
Yes, you should go check on your swords.
Right, yeah, I'll catch you later, I guess.
Yeah, of course. Go eat something, go get a nap. Remember what I said about buying her a drink and not charging her for it. Friends don't keep tabs. That's not what friendship is about. Unless you're trying to use it to leverage her for something, which I don't think you do, because you're not that shitty.
There's a plan there, but that's for a later date. See you. And just start scampering off.
Off he goes.
I do have a question. What are the chances that I was able to use my observant feat and my ability to read lips to know exactly what they were saying to hear this entire conversation?
And Fable would like to be near enough to be part of that as well, please. This is the two of us sitting over on the side, watching this nonsense.
With binoculars.
Um.
I make them out of ice and I just hand them to him.
So you have the lip reading feat, Eric?
Yeah, observant. Yeah.
Okay. Tell you what, because it's kind of just pure chance if you're nearby enough, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Roll me a percentile.
Okie
And you
dokie.
can do the same, Caitlin.
47.
Okay.
$100.
Okay.
Not even fucking kidding. Oh no. I hope it was high. If it was low, I fucked us. I'm sorry. No. This is what I waste my good rolls on.
I rolled a 40. You both rolled over me, so you can be lurking, and have gleaned most of, if not all of what was said.
Yeah, this is gonna be my best roll of the night. You hear all. Or see all.
So essentially, I'm gonna be like, kind of like a little bit snooping, but then like looking over, and I'm gonna start seeing what they're saying. And as Fable is walking by, I'm just gonna snatch her. I'm gonna be like, no, ooh, come here for a second, come here. Listen, okay, ooh, and I'm gonna start like relaying everything that they're saying.
How can he not know what she's talking about? She's not the most subtle when it comes to romantic. She's spelling it out, right? Right?
No, like I'm even getting it. It's getting spelled out here. I don't know what's going on. This is insane.
Do you think we should just find treasure? Or should we be the other half of this conversation?
I wonder what Treasure thinks about what.
But
You know,
to be fair, and to play Tiefling's advocate for a moment, you're welcome. She's fairly bold, and has made it really clear that she's not afraid to talk about what she wants. So I have a feeling that if she wants someone to be interested, she'll tell them. But she might still be worried about that whole arranged marriage bullshit.
Oh, you mean the two pale brothers with the spiders that want to kill us?
Yeah, that would freak me out too and put me off the altar for life. However, it's worth mentioning to her in case she too just didn't notice.
You know, maybe later on we'll have a moment, maybe in passing, something will get said. We'll never know. It could happen. When did Sir Rock become a Yenta? What is
of performers we had who were just very your lilt was very, very reminiscent of that. A lot of guilt driven there, so be careful about that though. It's only because it's you, Eric, that I can make that joke. I would never have done it otherwise. It's very important that people know that. Nice, man.
There you go.
So yeah, but no, genuinely Fable just and then in a moment of panic, she stops. I swear to all the gods, if Saride ever tries to do anything like that with a man and me, I will set her on fire. No.
So you're gonna sit here and you're gonna be like, Sarai should find happiness, Treasure should find happiness, da 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 da. But then I never.
Well, see,
I could
there's
never.
your problem then. Why do you have to assume that automatically happiness for me means any kind of romantic attachment? Never has. I've watched it all happen my entire life. Tiny Genasi stares in asexual. And it's just, I've watched it all. I know mechanically exactly what happens. And sure, possibly romantically at some points, but I don't see that happening. And honestly, I'm very happy without. So, at this point, I'd find happiness in... She just kind of... A little bit of guilt because it's her and Sirach. She'd say... I find happiness doing what I set out on the road to do in the first place. Wouldn't you? We've got people...
You know, you kind of pulled me here right in the beginning. But I don't think you necessarily ever told me what it is you set out here to do.
Let's
You
just
asked
say
me.
we're both looking for elemental plane traveling and things of that sort. And I would be happier at the end of the day if I knew all my efforts hadn't been in vain. I don't need a partner to do that with me. I just want everyone to be okay.
Bring it in, and big birdie hug.
Fluffy feather hug! Yeah, in his hair feather. So,
All right, let's go hide before they notice we've been spying on them.
scatter!
Okay. With those conversations out of the way, yeah, you guys, you returned back to the House of the Shield relatively early in the day, and so if you wanted to spend the day preparing and leave the following day, you absolutely can. Or if you would, how long would you guys like to stay in town?
I would like to see if we can get any more information on where we're going, on the frost giants, etc. Whatever they know.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. Let's see.
And there are no frost giants here. It's just dwarves and fire giants, right?
Correct. Yeah, there are no frost giants here. Yeah, Haldrick is probably the oldest of the official dwarves, and kind of, I don't know if I don't what's a good well, group historian perhaps. Yeah, no. So talking with him is probably your best bet for getting information that you are interested in when it comes to the north.
So that's the Helm.
Yes.
Okay. Well, what panics and frost. What sort of what stats or something like can they tell us about frost giants? Because we've never fought them. Right?
I don't recall you guys having ever fought frost giants in the past. Let me see.
I'm just making sure it's like not the one game I wasn't here for.
No, the channel has fought frost giants in the past, which is what my brain is defaulting to. But as far as you guys go, I'm pretty sure you have not fought any frost giants in. You guys find I'm I'm so sorry. I apologize. I'm blanking hard. Haldrin? Haldrick?
Haldrick.
Aldrich.
Haldrick. I literally
Haldrick. Yeah.
said that name. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Listen,
Haldrick
it
and
happens.
Beardrin.
You good?
I
Yeah.
saw your brain do the Windows reboot. It's okay. I could hear it from
We
here.
could hear the noise.
Everyone
Can
just
confirm. I'm in the house. It's loud.
Yeah. It definitely did. Which is okay. Not a big deal. Yeah, you'll find him working with the other shield dwarves. He does also seem to be not the lead commander of the dwarven forces that are here, but something of a quartermaster type, something that right running and looks after the more mundane logistics. And you get the feeling he kind of fell into this position after his better fighting days were behind him. As you guys reach him, he is in a covered area. He has some maps laid out, and he has some he's getting the reports that you guys have brought with you. He's reviewing the maps that Halroth had made of the fire giant place, and it's mostly local topography and tunnelography that he's just kind of reviewing. They do patrol sometimes. Right then, my friends. What can I do for you?
We were wondering if you had any information about the Helm, where it is, who might be guarding it, so that we won't just be walking into, something blindly.
Ah, great. Of course. Yes, the Helm of the Frozen North. Colloquially, Southerners would call it King Town, as it were. But it was mostly frost giants, some dwarven folk, greater in number for sure than any of the other giant kin. That's the Axe Lord, House of Shield, even greater in number than the fire giant. Tended to be for surface folk. So it were a special sort of dwarf that found them. Frosts, wilds. These mountains, thin as they stretched. But the land, the frost giants were perhaps first truly experience a bit of draconic might. They had never truly settled their hold. It was always a danger. The House of Shields, Axe Lord's domain, and the Fist of the Forge. These are mostly beneath the mountain. Dark. Safely encased in the stone from which we were born. The Frost Giants' villages, their fortresses, sat atop this mountain. They were literally crown towers, fortress, pride, and deaf to the open air. They skirmished with dragon folk, much of our history. It was a badge of honor among the rest of the Black Kings for young warriors to do a tour or two Yeah. Where the danger never quite sit. We knew that they had been skirmishing for duration with the dragons that are there, their dragon subjects. But nothing that had ever betrayed itself to be a threat or the Black King is not infallible. Acknowledged dangers that were, and offered some support, but often thought the northern giants to be sayers, pessimists. There were not many of them to answer the call. When the Axe Lord's walls were breached, we never knew what happened. Didn't know if the dragons had taken them first, as men thought, or if they had merely abandoned the Black King. Their advice, their war. No expedition that sent to the north has returned, but to be fair, none we've sent to the south either. There are a few tunnels that used to stretch the distance, and the Frost Giants had a much closer relationship with the Axe Lord. So they were more hawkish. Those that pay for blood and we of the. Go ahead.
Do we know if frost giants are smarter than fire giants? Like where they are on the? Because isn't like hill giants are the stupid ones?
Yes.
Cloud giants are what we all want to be.
So just make me a history check.
That face of concentration. Or willing your history to be.
Natural 20 for a 25.
Oh shit!
Okay.
I have been fucking a giant for the past year, so tell me all about it.
I know him viscerally. This gives me an advantage on the check.
So, there is in traditional D&D, and literally it's part of the Storm King's Thunder. There is a divine hierarchy to giants. Here in our world, it's a little more of a natural inclination based on sort of their size. The hill giants, however, are all the traditionally the dimmest and the most savage, comfortably savage. They have the most in common with ogres and trolls, and and have no real desire to the industry of the fire giants or the traditions of these other giant races. That sounds like a lot of work to them. That's just not what they're about, right? There are some smarter hill giants, but for the most part, you are correct. They are the smallest, and they are the dimmest, and physically the of all of the giants. We get into the middle stretch of giants, and the stone giants are the next as far as like raw strength and power, but they are more intelligent. At the very least, they're definitely more intelligent than the hill giants, but they're a little more esoteric, right? They don't have the same industry or like steel weapons and those sorts of traditions, but they're a little more aesthetic. They're a little more monk-like. They're a little more, we are of the stone, so we live in the stone and with the stone, right? These would be our druids and monks in giant society. They're a little isolationist, although you do know just from your way in that some stone giants did live with the Axe Lord and here in the House of Shield, right? The small numbers, but you think they were probably like emissaries from another society or something like that. But so stone giants also have the natural ability to like meld into stone and hide, and so that's kind of their thing. Up next on just the raw like power scale is frost giants. They are known for having steel weapons. They are known for having strong cultural ties. They worship ancestors. They not in any hinted way are definitely sort of Nordic Viking, at least in aesthetic, you know. Because when you come from a land without sun, it just is.
He comes from a land without sun.
Yeah, exactly. Just sort of the same.
Do I know if they're smart enough, to be magic users?
Some of them are. That would be exclusively their leadership. They are not. They wouldn't be wizards. They would be more wisdom-based spellcasters.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, clerics. This would be sort of our first inclination of clerics for giants. They would definitely be rare, but magic, speakers. They would be like one per kingdom, right? Sort of a viceroy or a religious kind of leader would be definitely the exception, right? The cloud giants and the fire giants are the same in as far as challenge rating goes. The cloud giants are our first inclination of like widespread magic within giant societies. They share the same challenge rating. They share very similar stat blocks as far as like physical strength goes. Excuse me, the cloud giants are slightly stronger. So like in the ordning, the cloud giants do sit above the fire giants. But at the very top are what are relatively I'm not going to call them mythic, but they are more of the in this world. Storm giants are the exception in giant societies. They are.
They got mad at that existing.
I forgot that he was like, there's something more than cloud giant. The fuck there is? Oh, damn it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just trauma block that out. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So storm giants are they are very rare. They usually are like in pairs. They don't have like full societies, but what they do is they kind of come in and lead and elevate and lift up another giant society in our world. They are the demigods of giants, in like a step below that, right? But they are divine in the way that they are of both sky and earth and water and fire. They touch each of the elements in a way that the others simply do not. And so they have a relation to all of them. They are I don't have like a old for storm giants, right? In this world, I'm just saying they are more
That's exactly what someone hiding a hold of storm giants would say.
You caught me. I think of them like the old Western, like spaghetti Western, man with no name, or the storm giant came to town and kicked all the dragons out. You know, like that. That's kind of how I like to think of storm giants.
So you said fire. So let's focus on the thing we're going to be fighting next. So frost giants have steel weapons
Yes,
and limited magic.
but the potential for magic. They are not widespread magic users the way cloud giants are.
And they have societies.
Yeah, they are close knit familial societies, towns and villages, burgs and holds, and things like that. Yes. So
Talk to me more about this this frost stuff. So what do they do? We know what they do with that? Like,
so they are immune to cold. They are hardy. They've got I'm gonna say their armor class is not as strong as what a traditional fire giant might possess, but they do have greater hit points. Oh no, they don't. But they're a chunk of hit points. Their armor's relatively weak. They work with like leather and some steel, but they don't have enough of it, nor do they mine it to like fire giants wear plate, right? These guys are like, yeah, we'll strap some leather on and call it good.
we're fighting Nords. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love Skyrim. So what is this thing we're going to get? The Helm. Any information on where it might be kept?
Heldrick.
Eldrick, if you were a Helm, where would you be?
On my head?
That's good. Now let's go from there, right?
Right. I never took the tour of the North. But it would most likely, I would. The Frost Giants are proud combatant. And they wouldn't be ones to hide. Wherever the thickest of the battles was, that is where you'll probably find that King's Crown, the Helm. Their leader, from what I knew of him, would have led from the front, coordinate the battle, rather than worry about the teleportation or secret hole. They had been fighting dragons for time, and the urn at Helm probably meant he'd face down a worm or so. I would look for the largest, densest pile of bones. Start to dig.
Wonderful. And thank you. Thank you.
Good luck. Yeah, no, I was I was waiting on you guys. I didn't know if anybody else had a question for.
So Meg look over and I was like, does she have a pile of bones right there? Or is it going to be
No,
close by?
there were sounds happening in the back in my hallway, and I was a little concerned. It's fine. I'm being robbed.
Apparently, in height, frost giants are taller than fire and stone giants, although their DC hit points and things is slightly lower.
But they don't
Yep,
have
yep.
But would he know if they had like breath weapons or anything? Ooh. Nope. Megan knows that. Do they have breath weapons or anything?
No giant has a breath weapon. Cloud giants might be able to approximate something like that with magic, and storm giants, again, would have some sort of like magical effect, but no giant has like a breath weapon.
And might I add, thank God. They already have enough. So then, sounds like a plan. Sort of. Plan adjacent. We know more than we did. 12% of a plan. And that worked out great.
I mean, you're not wrong. You know, it sounds like all we have to do is get there, find the big pile of bones, go bone diving, and then come up
And
with.
the big pile of bones we have here doesn't count, right? We don't know that there's a tunnel beneath that big pile of bones that we've already discovered.
Any tunnel traveling between the House of Shields and the Black King's crown have been collapsed.
I just want to make sure, because you said big pile of bones, I was like, we have one of those! I didn't want it if it was a, you mean these ashes? kind of moment, I just wanted to make sure.
The pile of
Before we
bones.
went and found other ones that you weren't like, hey guys, you know you could have done that way back at the
You
other
mean
pile.
this pile of bones?
The pile of
I just-
bones you guys have walked through were also at the Axe Lord's.
I
domain.
just want, that's what I wanted to make triple sure that we weren't missing something obvious that the DM was slapping us with.
Nope.
Thank you. So get there, find the bones. Profit.
Can I today I know that we went shopping very recently, but is there a chance that I could find because I can use a scroll, right?
Yeah.
I think what I'm looking for is a book, and I think it's going to take longer.
Okay.
Is there a book that would help me learn giant?
Oh, yeah, you can find a giant language book. That's gonna be
How
a
long would it take to learn it?
weeks. Yeah, there's no permanent magic to.
Is there a magic scroll for tongues?
We can look. Let's take a look. See what
Because
sort of.
if I have comprehend language and tongues up, in theory,
I think you only need tongues. I think tongues actually lets you understand them.
She's so
yeah, that would be
so
kind of
happy
dick if you're just
tongues.
like speaking the language and you can't understand what's being said.
Hey, look at that. The random gods have smiled on you. There is in fact in town a scroll of tongues.
Hell
Excellent.
yeah!
How much would that set me back?
300 gold pieces.
That is not bad.
I've recently come into some bug money, so please.
Absolutely.
Yes. Hello, I made my fortune the old-fashioned way, bug hunting, like any good role player would. Oh my god, I just realized the beauty of us taking the typical level 1 bullshit of just hunt bugs in the woods over and over again, and we've made it legal tender in our D&D game. That's so meta.
Are you interested in any other scrolls that are on here?
Yes. I will
Uh,
buy shit. Yes. Scroll me.
Okay. So Blight is rare. It's going to be in the thousands range. Again, I don't think that's the most useful for you. Dancing Light's common, very cheap. It's a cantrip. Find Familiar, very cheap. Ice Storm, rare in the thousands. Don't know how useful that is. Spells a Scroll of Identify, common, very cheap. So that could be useful. Invisibility, uncommon, roughly the same price as Tongues. Rope Trick, uncommon, roughly the same price as Tongues. And Sequester, very rare. Let's not even talk about it. That's gonna be up there.
What was that one? Two before sequester, sorry.
So before Sequester, Invisibility,
Yeah.
Identify, Invisibility, and Rope Trick are the spell scrolls I'm looking on here and can be like, those could be useful.
Yeah, I'm considering rope trick.
Okay. Yeah, rope trick, for anybody that doesn't know, in the vaguest sense, if you've watched any bit of the Acquisitions Incorporated, it is a favorite of Jim Darkmagic, and it's where
It's very weirdly broken for such a low-level spell, honestly.
it's a weird spell. It is a
And
weird
when
spell.
used right, it's amazing, or at the very least, it's really utility. Like it's
Yeah, there's a ton of utility to it. It is it's the Bugs Bunny spell, I like to think of it as, where the rope climbs up on its own. You can climb up the rope into your tiny little pocket dimension, and you're invisible. The rope hangs out, and you can poke your head out and shoot stuff and go back. If the magic gets dispelled, though, you fall, and it's bad. That's kind of what happens.
Great for a short rest, though.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes.
So that's rope trick. Invisibility, we all know. You're invisible. You get an attack or a spell. That's gone. Identify. That's just because Thozin's not here with you guys. If anybody ever wanted to be able to identify something, that could be pretty good. I don't know if Find Familiar has any real use for people that aren't wizards or Pact of the Chain warlocks.
No, because most of us can't cast through a familiar, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't.
If we could, I'd love to take Find Familiar, because the idea of having that tiny little lizard that Elsa has just feels very perfect. It's blue fire. But it's absolutely Fable as a lizard.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed one. There is an Arcane Lock scroll as well.
How much is that?
That's gonna be 300.
Hold on.
I can lend you some money.
I've never bought shit. I've never had things I needed to buy. I may have money. I'll check, but I'm just double checking if this does what.
Basically, it puts a lock on a box or some sort of container, and it takes the knock spell or the chosen word to open it.
You know what? Never mind. We are physically carrying anything that would be worth locking, I feel like. So I'm good. Never mind.
Okay. All right. Yeah. If you guys have nothing else you would like to take an interest in, you can have your long rest and then prepare for your next journey into Frozen. Yes, Tauroth.
The two things that I had, it's the necklace and the obsidian blade.
Yes.
Would those be ready by now, or those still need time?
So the obsidian blade, because you were looking for essentially for it to be magic, is going to take at least a week. You've done 3 days, so that is, you still have time on that. The earrings, I think, should be done. Or the jewelry should be done, because that was mundane, just craftsmanship, and it was 3. Yeah, you're good on that. You can pick that up.
All right, cool. Only other thing I would look for would be very cold weather clothing.
I was just thinking. I think we picked that up
You
when
do,
we were
yeah.
coming here.
Yeah, you have
We have
cold
that. We
weather.
have camping stuff. We have rations. We have spices to make the rations palatable.
Mhm.
We have torches. We have shit ton of rope. What else could we possibly need?
Ah, the question.
I think we'd be okay then.
Are we prepared?
Prepared? I know. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to jinx anything, and yet.
I would like to do something very specific before we leave.
Okay.
I would like to buy sugar
Okay.
and are there any, I realize this is a stretch, are there any fruits or any sweet things or syrup, maple syrup or anything like that?
Yeah, yeah, they have some forms of natural sweeteners. Yeah, absolutely.
Then can I get some honey and some maple syrup?
Yeah, you can. You can check the PHB. I believe has prices for honey. Yeah, that can double for any of it.
Thank you.
All right. So, what I would like to do, let's take our break now. It's going to be an early break. It's going to give me a minute to make sure I have all of my ducks in their proverbial row. Then when we come back, we will launch into the Great Frozen North. So, thanks for hanging out. We are going to take an early break tonight. We will see you in just a few minutes, but until then, stay tuned. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back. We are Random Encounter Productions. I'm Cody Stone. With me tonight, we have...
Caitlin playing Fable Frost, the Ace Genasi Phoenix Soul Sorcerer.
Megan playing Sarai Landir, the Eladrin Grammar Bard.
Don't dangle those participles, boys and girls.
Well, that's my next shirt design. It's the unholy abomination combination of lore bards and glamour bards. The Grammar Bard. Oxford commas are not just for decoration. Carry on.
Hi, everyone. I'm Eric, and I'm playing Sirach, the Aarakocra Horizon Walker Ranger.
And I'm Maz. I'll be playing Talroth Oakenblade, the soon-to-be popsicleized Wood Elf Scout.
All right. Our heroes, the archivists, now preparing to make their next journey to the Frozen. It is deep winter, as you know, and you guys have gathered with Badrin, and Haldrick, and you guys are preparing to, very much in a similar fashion to the well, thank you, to the Fist of the Forge that you guys had gone to previously. You are led down into the throne room, House of the Shield. The Black King's Key, or as you all have aptly named it, the Key of Bonking. A giant-sized key, so weapon-sized in medium creatures' hands, is inserted into the area. The shield is likewise to power up this arcane gate, and the magic begins to glow throughout the room, casting a dull blue light that mixes with the reds and oranges of the fires brought down. And look back at your allies and friends, and you make your way through the portal. As you step through, bound in your cold weather clothes, your climbing gear, and all of your feel the rush of frost, cold, sting against your skin, but little may be exposed. You are immediately grateful for the tremendous number of layers that each of you are wearing. Are you resistant to cold?
Oh
Fable?
yeah, I am. Fable's just, what? This is nice. It's lovely.
All right.
Sarai last night went back into spring.
Uh-huh.
The minute we get here, is there snow on the ground?
You wouldn't call it snow. It would be frost and ice. You are
Can
indoors.
I?
You are indoors at the moment.
Okay. Can I chip some ice into a canteen
Sure. Yeah.
and then add maple syrup to it and make a snow cone?
Oh my god. That's the most spring stride thing I've ever heard.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, you can do that.
And I would like to do that.
I
Okay.
love spring stride.
So while we're on our way, she's just going to town on a maple syrup snow cone.
Okay. There you go. It is the maple syrup. It drips all the slower, being in the frozen, being in the very cold. But sure, you make yourself a tasty snow treat. You guys are in a hall that is very much similar to the other throne rooms that you guys have essentially seen. One of the things that is immediately and abundantly different, however, is the sound. You can hear the howl of the wind as it runs across this building. You don't feel like you're underground, or that this place is terribly far from the surface, if at all. It is dark, so if you guys would like to, or you all have dark vision, I believe, at this point.
I think almost all of us do now. I think between tattoos and racial abilities, we're fucking good.
Yep.
And Fable's excited about it. She's like giggly excited of, I need to level up also so I can drop the dark vision spell off my roster and free up a space. But she's like so stoked. She's like, is this what you've always been able to see? Forget. Oh yeah, Sarai has even extra now. Have you already been able to see like this? I don't need to wait.
She's just sitting there eating her snow cone, looking like further into the darkness than she's ever been able to see before.
Are you high?
Can I see anything
Oh, what's in
in the extra distance?
What are your passive perceptions, or you can make perception checks if you would like.
I'd like to make a check. My passive's not great, but
Sure, use your passive as a floor.
oh yay!
You guys can make those checks.
19.
Okay.
18.
21.
18.
Okay. As you guys look around, this place does look mostly deserted. Hasn't been utilized. Very long time. There is a similar throne to the ones that you have seen in all the other rooms. The giants have exclusively like a solo throne, a single throne here. The seat of which is again in the middle of the room on a very smallly raised dais. You can see where the Helm of the North, where this Black King's crown might sit to open such a portal, right? The chair itself is wood, in contrast to the all the others that had been stone. It is a sort of iron wood, very dense, very heavy, very strong, and it is lined with bone and and furs for comfort, it does seem. The other thing that you notice about the room is that there does appear to be you guys notice with the howl of the wind, there is a little bit of frozen air sort of leaking through on one side. So as you guys sort of make your way that door, you suspect that the door out of this place is in that direction.
Then in that direction we go.
All right, yeah. You guys make your way over.
And I walk with them.
So Abed did confirm that they walked. Yes, you make your way over into the area, Go ahead and roll me investigation checks.
$12.
12.
Haha, 9.
12, but my passive is 16.
Okay. So what I'll say is this. You guys spend your time looking for this mechanism. Looking for some bit of magic or trick or trap or something that is going to eventually let you open this door. And in your experience and in your efforts to discover what clever trick there is to opening this door, it doesn't occur to you for somebody roll me one person roll me a percentile. All right, go for it.
That is going to be a 9.
A 9. Okay. So I'm going to round it. We're going to make it 10 minutes. It's going to take you guys about 10 minutes to sort of figure out that that there isn't really a trick to this door. It is a door. It is double doors that slide. It looks like a bit of frost and snow had sort of wedged them ever so slightly open in the middle, right? And that's the air that you guys have kind of been feeling. It did appear to just kind of be like cracks in the doors itself. But over time and the buildup of the frost and the snow, the doors have sort of frozen shut. So you know that it would have been possible for dwarves to open these doors, at least at some point. So you guys suspect, even though you are not the strongest of the group, if you were to deal with the frozenness, the what is jamming it, that you could open it. And it does sort of fit with what you know about the frost giants. They are they aggressively defend their homes, right? They are ready for a fight, and if anybody made it this far, then a trick or a trap isn't then they've already won, right? So why go through the trouble of trying to come up with this wild or crazy solution when there's really no, as it were. So with this frozen door problem, what would you guys like to do?
And you said the door.
No, go on.
Just wanted to clarify. You said the door slides open?
Yeah, they are sliding stone doors.
Did anyone bring a torch, or is
Yeah,
there just
hello.
any way
We
to
have to-
create
we have to-
You've got a
fire?
torch. You've got a torch at all times. I just wasn't sure if flame on running into it was the plan, but I will happily do so.
I mean, will it exhaust you if you do?
Not even a little bit. Let's fucking go. Actually, yeah, that's 100% what she just wants to be a fireball and yeet herself at this door.
Then before she does, Saraide's gonna pour some of the snow cone into her hand and then and Simba it across Fable's forehead. Say, it's time.
I love when you're in spring. All right, and then, just becoming the flame, Fable is, going to... She'll try a small one first. She'll test it out gently with Firebolt and see how much damage that... I'm just gonna use a cantrip before I waste a spell slot. because sometimes I'm clever. And as much as I like the aesthetic of just
Well, and that's the thing. If it doesn't work with a cantrip, don't waste your slots. We have torches and
no,
knives.
but that's the thing, is it's a timing thing and it's a whatever. And if it works a little bit, then a big fire will help. If it doesn't do shit, like I don't want to. Yeah. So may I just see how much damage is done with walk up, put hand on. It's actually a free action. It's not even a cantrip to just ignite and be set fire to my hand.
Yeah. Well,
May I just?
Sure. So you're using the firebolt cantrip, or what cantrip or
It's
spell?
just ignite. It's just a phoenix sorcerer thing where you just hand fire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
It's just fire.
so yes, the hand fire is I'm gonna say it's akin to like a big lighter, right? So the heat of which will work. That is very little heat. That would take forever.
At which point, then I will expand the. We've had me do this before. Then when I turned into a fire, and I just had to take a little bit of fire damage for it, because she's not technically immune to the. So if I ever do that, it damages me a little bit. But if I can just push through it and make a human-sized, make a genasi hole in the ice, I don't know, so they can get to the door. Is that possible?
So, hold on. So I don't remember what this that you speak of. I do not remember that. That is
We did it once before with Ignite, where you were like, "Are you immune to the?" I was like, "No, actually, that's the whole thing." And you're like, "Okay, take 1d4 of fire damage if you're setting your whole body on fire." It's when I did it with the flesh giant thing
Oh.
in the room with the
Okay.
So you let me set my body on fire to be a light.
Um.
I can do mantle. It was without burning mantle of flame. I can burn mantle of flame as a spell slot. That was just having fire damage, and the drawback was it didn't give me any benefits and it hurt me. So that was the trade-off for not burning a use of mantle of flame, basically.
Sure.
But we do not have to do that. That could have been a one-time thing. I was offering it.
Yeah. No. So.
I'm good. Oh shit! Fuck! Never mind. No. God, I have this. I would like to use shape ice and just open it. I have that. I never use it. It's my racial ability.
Yeah.
just
So
do
ignite. You can start fires with a touch.
Yes.
Magically ignite a flammable object you touch with your hand, and objects such as a torch, a piece of tinder, or
Okay.
The hem of drapes. That's what ignite does.
Got it. May
You
I
don't
please
catch
just
fire.
use shape ice then?
Yes, you can use shape ice. So,
Thank you.
let me be clear. If you're doing this with a cantrip, it's going to take. It's going to take. Let's see.
So create or destroy ice is one of the things I have, and it's a first level spell, not a
Okay.
cantrip.
Okay.
It's my racial ability that is just prepared once per long rest. So this I've never had to use it. So it feels like the thing to use now.
Okay.
How much can I get out of a first level spell slot of that?
That's what I'm looking up.
Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure I can look it up.
Yeah, I mean it's based on what the creator destroy water spell.
Yes, so 30 foot by 30 foot.
Okay. Let's see.
Up to 10 gallons of ice within a range, alternatively snow in a 30-foot cube. So,
So this is ice, 10 gallons of ice. It would take you for a giant another cubic. Yep. This is what DMs do. Ready?
I'm sorry, math.
Yeah, it's fine. Cubic volume of a gallon water is 231 cubic inches. So if we divide 231 cubic inches by 12, should give us how many cubic feet, right? Yes. So 231 divided by 12 is 19 feet. 19 cubic feet. So a 5-foot cube is 5 times 5 times 5 is so about that's gonna get you 20 feet up. That'll get you most of the way there in a single casting, and then you will need to cantrip your way through the remaining bit. So that would take probably a D4 or let's say a D6 in minutes.
Great. Okay.
Cantrip the final bit.
That's fine. Okay, that feels better than us trying to just hold a torch and we might not be able to reach the upper top. And yeah, that's why I was sorry.
No, no one's upset. I'm
sorry. I forgot that I have the ice. I think I've used it once or twice this whole campaign, and so I forgot it was an ability.
We're making a sheath for Dawnbringer.
Yes, that was it. Thank you.
Mhm.
I made the ice sheath.
So while she's doing that, Saride's making more snow cones and passing them around.
Would you like me to roll the d6?
Yeah, please.
6.
Okay.
Sorry.
So yeah, it takes you guys about 6 minutes to
that's
melt your way through the center slip in the doors, right? Through the snow and the ice that has collected there. There is still a bit of frost along the other side, and there's a bit of frost along the actual track that this stone door is in. So you can take a few more minutes and work out all of that, or you guys can try to squeeze your way through here and leave it mostly shut.
Wings.
Yeah, let's try squeezing.
Yeah, I was about to say mostly shut feels better.
Okay.
Especially if something big comes and actually breaks through. We'll hear it breaking all the way open, I feel like.
Okay. Yeah. Each of you make me a Constitution check, please.
We check. Ooh.
I'm gonna use luck because that was a natural one. That's better. 22.
19.
Nice.
20.
Nice.
I had rolled, but then D&D Beyond backed up on me, so I don't know if the roll went through.
Okay.
Looks like it did not. Give me a second.
Okay.
11.
11. That's fine. So 10 is what you're looking for. As you guys are squeezing through here, the snow on the other side, the ice and the frost, and just the distance that Fable's magic couldn't quite cover, is sort of piling back in, and you guys are getting some snow in your cold weather clothes. It's also tearing at it and tugging at it and threatening to rip the things that are protecting you guys, but you make it through, mostly unscathed. None of your gear is damaged to the point that it needs to be noted. Right, it's a little scratched up, and it's a little unfortunate, but you make it through mostly unharmed. On the other side of this, there is a you're still slightly indoors. It is an antechamber, but you can see that the roof of which has caved in. Some of the stone and wood work, the rafters are lighted and broken, and some of the wall has kind of collapsed. And you can see that this place is definitely one that has suffered battle damage, right? There is beyond here, as far as you can see, because it is, as you look out, it is dark. I would like one of you to roll me What time do you guys think you left?
Morning, 9-ish, 10-ish.
Okay. So, at 9, you're still in the pre-dawn hours of this place. It is just it's not even dawn enough for you guys to have any bit of light. So it is that deepest of night here.
Yay. We've come into them while they're sleeping.
As you look around, there are
Frost Giants don't sleep. They wait.
there are some pillars, there are some broken columns and things like that, but there are also some doors that have definitely been battered and bashed in, which is leaving this chamber very much open to the elements. So this is where
Yes, I just walked in. Thank you.
yeah, this is where you guys are beginning. Can't see terribly far, just your 60 to 120, right? But you can't see out into the central yard or anything else beyond on that. Up.
She's thinking. We're rolling stealth checks, by the way. Can we?
If you'd like to try to be stealthy, yes.
I think yes. We've already heard that people just don't come back when they go places.
I can get behind being stealthy on this one.
Yeah, we can at least try.
You know what else I can get behind?
Hmm.
Pass without a trace.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
So everyone, I'm casting Pass Without a Trace. Everyone within 30 feet of me adds a 10 to their stealth check. And because of a beautiful tattoo, I get advantage on stealth checks now.
Yeah, we do.
All right.
Even with my advantage and the plus 10, that is only going to be a 21.
Okay.
29.
11 is what I got it up to on my roll. Like, that's not great.
Sorry, what?
29.
This might be the only time I beat Talroth, because I rolled a natural 20. So natural 20 plus 7 for 27 plus 10 for 37. This might be the only time I beat Talroth.
Where the fuck did Sirach go?
35.
Yeah!
Hey.
Mark the day, ladies and ladies. It's time. Gents. Yes. Here's a poof of feathers, and he's gone.
Fable, I think they left us.
Why the fuck does it... It's because we're women, isn't it?
No, it's because they don't like me very much. But that's alright. I have snow cones.
I like you very much.
I like you too. That's why I haven't left you.
Thought they were doing the leaving, not you. And now I'm confused.
Well, they left because they don't like me. It's alright.
You're not leaving because you... don't think about Spring Saride's ramblings too much.
Link arms with Fable and start easing on down the road.
Okay.
Stealthily.
Stealthily, as you guys begin to make your way out into the open air. Are either of you terribly stealthy folks, scouting ahead or moving first, or are the ladies leading the charge here?
Yeah, no, definitely going on ahead to be able to see what's going on.
Okay. Sounds good. As you are making your way, Talroth, are you behind, in front, or amidst the ladies?
I will stick behind this time.
Behind. Okay. Sounds good. As Sirach, your passive is 21?
Yes.
As you make your way out into the central chamber, into the central part of this, what you're seeing is essentially a frost giant town. There are some smaller holds and homes and sort of apartment kind of places for dwarven kin to live in. It's a mix of rambling, twisting streets and roads, and on the edges, sort of out around the sides, there are towers that have been in large sort of destroyed. And imagine if you can, the top of a very large mountain that has kind of been strip mined off, but the natural rocks and things on the outside form what are the walls of this frozen city, right? And so if you were to look at it from the sides or from the front, it would very much look like with the towers, some form of crown. And so thus its name is earned. Well, it is very dark. There's not much movement, but the wind is almost ever present. Another thing that you do note is that the cold here is, as a Floridian, it's difficult for me to comprehend this, but it is, I will say, prodigious in the very least. It is without the wind whipping. Negative 50 degrees.
Ah, good. We're all dead.
When the wind kicks up, it's almost probably negative 100.
So we are burning.
Yeah, I mean, but
That's as cold as dry ice gets. That is burning off your skin cold.
it can be, absolutely. So, and if anybody is wondering,
The chat is losing their minds. As someone who moved to the north, -10 is hellish. Like,
so I am pulling this specifically from the far north, from Frost of the Rime Maiden, which is,
well, fuck you, Rhyme Maiden.
yeah, which is clearly very cold.
Yeah.
And so they do talk about the
Even Fable is wrapped up now, and she's like, well, I hate this.
So yeah, Fable, you feel cold. Your resistance does do a good job of insulating you from what is here, and that is noted there. I had this open earlier, and were killing me.
Sadly, I only give off bright light and not warmth. I can't be a heat lamp for you guys. I was willing to just be a glowing heat lamp and keep everybody alive, but it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. So I tried.
Bride is muttering to herself, and if you want, I'll tell you what she's saying.
Obviously, yes.
Okay, I'll message you.
Yeah. So temperatures. So average temperature is -49 degrees Fahrenheit, -45 degrees Celsius. Wind chill can lower these temperatures by as much as 8. So yeah, because you guys are very far north, you are very high up, and it is the dead of winter. So yeah,
Emphasis on dead.
exactly.
Do I see any movement that I can discern in the town?
No movement in this hour. In the pre-dawn hours, it is too cold for even the winter bodies, for even the fauna of this terribly cold world to be out and about. That is, yeah. I think the only thing that would be out in a winter this cold is a ring of emperor penguins carrying eggs on their feet. But that's in the south. This is the north. So.
Penguin.
Yeah, but it's magical here. We can have penguins wherever we want.
Yes, but you don't want them here. Trust me.
Ooh.
Let me ask this: how strong is the wind?
The wind is pretty strong. It is Chicago-like wind. As you're very high up, the wind catches through the tall buildings of the frost giants, and sort of creates these wind tunnels, these pockets of whipping wind.
What are the chances I could extend my wings out and sort of like Disney's gargoyles around without actually flapping in order to very silently try to lift up, get a better view, and see if I see a ridiculously large bone pile anywhere?
Sure. Yeah, first make me an acrobatics check.
Ooh, hate that. That is 5 plus 7 for an 11.
For an 11. 5 plus 7 is a 13.
7, 12.
12. Yeah, we'll get there eventually. By our powers combined, we do basic arithmetic.
And I'll form the head. Sorry.
So, you do end up having to flap your wings more than you would care to, right? Just to catch the loft. You do get some air underneath you. So I rolled for a DC. I rolled a 13, just for clarity. So you barely fail. Doesn't mean you're going to fall or anything like that. But it means you're not going to be able to do it in the way that you had wanted to, right? For you, the beating of your wings seems terribly loud. For everybody else, combined with the pass without a trace and your natural 20, it just sounds like wind, right? But what I will tell you is this. Opening your wings leaves them exposed to the elements. You can't fly with your wings bound in cold weather gear. It's just not something that is doable. And so while you can do this, I'm going to need you to roll a d4. Or, excuse me, what is your constitution modifier? Let's do it that way.
Okay, my con modifier is +2.
+2. Okay. You start to fly. And make me a medicine check.
Oh, that's
Do not break your wings for this.
7.
7? You're lucky I rolled low. You're very lucky. So Rock probably gets the idea that if I leave my wings out too long, this is going to be very bad. But I will go ahead and tell Eric in terms of what is happening, right? For every 2 minutes that your wings are exposed to the elements, especially flying, right? Walking around with them tucked in around you, that's something different. For every 2 minutes that you fly, you have to make a Constitution saving throw against exhaustion. Yes.
Okay. So I will be flying for 1.5 minutes.
Okay.
We will set a timer.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna have to make a check anyway, but basically a check gets you 2 minutes of flight time.
Cool.
Right. So go ahead and we'll do your check at the end. You have your 21 passive flying around, right? What is your flight speed?
My flight speed is 50.
Is 50. So you're going to cover a fair amount of ground. Unfortunately, you are hindered in that it is still very, very dark, right?
Yeah.
So you're having to kind of scout some streets just purely based on like proximity, right? Go ahead and roll me a percentile as you do, and we'll tell you what you find.
Let's find some fun percentiles. Ooh, you guys are gonna. Okay, 65.
Okay. Sounds good. Zorak, taking the lead, gets into the air. The frost hits his wings and they begin to chill. And there is, to his ears, this what is normally a very soft and I would say muffled sort of flapping of flight, still dense and heavy. Now the frozen tips of each of his wings carries with it and sort of the crack of a much denser, more brittle leather. It is immediately uncomfortable, even though he cannot feel its feathers, right? It does burn coldness. He whips around some of the corners and looks down them, stopping ever so slightly on different buildings. It's clear to see that much of the damage of this place rests on the top. They were attacked from the sky, for sure. But as you look around, you can see remains of some bodies, some bones. None of it seemed to be a large pile, but there is a larger opening towards the center of the town, and as you get up high, you can just make out the shadows of what appears to be some taller buildings and some taller, perhaps weapon or defensive structures that are, being a ranger, I will go ahead and tell you they are just to the southern side. It's not dead center of the town, but it's about quarters. So it's going to take you guys probably 20 minutes walking. Carefully and quietly make it over.
Can I tell if they look manned?
No, you don't think. Well, one, you can't tell. It's too far away. But from the
Okay.
evidence that you have seen here, nothing looks manned.
Understood. All right, I will start whipping back to everybody, and I will land there, and I will quickly just like get my wings immediately folded back in and under the cloak and everything, and there's just
Can I just gently I would like to nope, I don't want to do fire damage to him. Never mind. I was gonna see if there was a way I could just warm like
Yeah,
like,
so Ride's just gonna hug
hot
him.
hands.
Sure. Make medicine checks.
Okay. Can I do it with Arcana?
No, this is very specifically treating like hypothermia.
9.
21.
Yeah. You're trained in medicine, aren't you?
I am.
Nicely done. So, yes. But why? Well, we're trying for this exact moment. So yes, you between through Sarai's guidance and the heat-based powers of the Phoenix Soul that is Fable, you guys are able to help help Sirach warm up. So with those efforts, Sirach, I'm gonna have you make your Constitution saving throw with advantage.
thank you. Hey, 17 plus 2 for 19.
Easy, DC of 10. So,
Yeah. Thank you.
Of course. We want you, okay? Fable was so stressed the whole time you were up there. She's like going through and she knows. See, it's because she knows cold. So she was just like, he's up there too long. It's not okay. Nothing's okay. Like, I'm gonna have to do this with the feathers when he gets back down.
At this point, Sirach begins to regale with the with what he's seen, most specifically to the armaments and opening in the middle of the town. So I didn't find any specific bone piles. I found a lot of like tiny bone piles, but if we wanna find a big bone pile, I think that's gonna be the way to go. We could probably make it like 20 minutes walking. I don't recommend flying right now.
No, I wouldn't.
God, has anyone seen Talroth? He was square here.
Oh no! I keep losing people.
So what happens, just like D&D, like mechanically, if two people are stealthing together, but then they both roll obnoxiously high stealth checks that are higher than the other's passive perception checks, do they then stealth from the people they're with?
Would you like me to be technical and tell you the truth?
Yes, I would. That's why I'm asking. It's just a...
So technically, you can only hide if you break vision, line of sight, from another character.
Blinking doesn't count. You can't just blink and they're gone.
So that's why a lot of abilities allow people to hide while being lightly obscured, such as by foliage or fog or things like that. Because normally you have complete cover. You have to have something that you have to have complete concealment. So the other character has to be effectively blind to you for you to be able to hide from them. Which is why if you guys are standing next to each other, unless one of you is invisible, you really can't hide from each other unless I'm missing something. Talroth.
Which does bring up a question. Is it snowing?
So it is, that's a good question. Let's find out. So there is snow out here, and some of it does get kicked up by the wind, but it is not actively snowing at this time.
So would it be more like a mist?
I'm thinking more like a winter movie holiday, where like it's fine, it's on the ground like piled up, and then the wind comes through and the snow spirals up into the air and then settles back down. This is again a Floridian's understanding of winter and snow.
You think we're in a snow globe?
No, I mean not really.
No,
but
we're in downtown. We're in Disney when they do the soap bubble snow. So
it's not even like that.
Snow.
So I literally am just thinking of the end of any Christmas movie. But it is not snowing. There is perhaps some flurries that get kicked up by the wind coming through. I wouldn't say it's enough to be called like a mist or a fog. I don't think it's quite enough to be like a lightly obscured, if that's what you're going for.
The reason I ask is because of the Wood Elf racial Mask of the Wild. I can attempt to hide even when lightly obscured by foliage, heavy rain, etc.
So I'll say, when the wind is at its strongest, you could probably attempt to hide from somebody. That I'm fine with, because also, from my experience in the cold, when the wind is really kicking, your kind of eyes are watering and stinging and blinking and all of those sorts of things. Anyway,
I also figured just because his stealth rolls are always so ridiculously high, the minute we go somewhere that isn't home base, Sarai just sort of forgets Talroth exists. He's going to be going and doing whatever the fuck it is he's going to do.
He always comes back. Like,
yeah,
he always makes it home again. He's
like an outside cat.
I was about to say, Talroth is the real cat of the party, not Clever Stitch.
Yes. So
where'd he go? He'll be back. He's not dead. I try. I can't keep up with him.
Someone leave out a bowl of whiskey.
I was gonna say that's it. Do we need to find Talroth? She pulls a bottle of wine out of her bag and uncorks it and just holds it up.
Shakes it a little bit so you can hear it.
Yes, we did just call him an outdoor cat, Kez.
So you guys are making your way towards the center of the town?
Yes, and if I can do perception checks as best as possible.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the perception checks that you guys had previously and your passives. You are being very cautious, and you guys had all rolled stealth very well. We're sticking with those. I don't feel a need to re-roll them at the moment. I appreciate. Thank you for asking. Thank you for saying it, because the time you don't say it is the time I'll be like, you didn't say it. So, As you guys are making your way down the streets, let me ask you this question. Are you stopping in any of these other abodes? None of them, as you're moving, most of them seem empty, broken. You can see the barricades that have been sort of smashed in at different places and points. There's a fair amount of just debris and detritus. Some of the walls have been shattered down. What is roughly hewn stone and ice used as mortar in just the most haphazard of igloo wood and stone pieced together. A lot of it broken, shattered. Some of the places you can kind of easily, you have to look in because there's just literally no walls to obstruct your but of the places that you are traveling by, there doesn't seem to be a lot of value that is here. As far as metals, as far as sellables, as far as even basic supplies or things like that, a lot of this has either been picked over by what you assume to be the draconic assailants of this initial fight, or any sort of foodstuffs have been foraged by, you're hoping, would have been the wildlife of this place.
What you're hoping.
I'm good to keep going to the bones.
Yeah, unless we think there's a possibility of some kind of, for lack of a better term, survivor we could befriend. Like, I don't think... I feel like the chances of us getting into anything that would be helpful and not just slow us down are probably fairly slim.
Okay. Those two are heading there. Sirach?
I'm headed with, yeah.
Great. Talroth? Anything different?
I'll stick a little bit to the outside just to kind of keep more like a perimeter.
Sure.
Because something, it's like, at least for Mars, something about this isn't feeling right. So it's more the paranoia. So he's just kind of sticking like away, probably about 40 feet or so.
Okay. On the main street, though, on this, there is a pretty straight thoroughfare between what you're discovering is the lifeblood of the town, pretty much from the gate through the town square down. This is essentially Main Street down to the Jarl's I don't know, place, hut, whatever, right? The rest of it is not laid out nearly so neatly. It seems to be mostly have done from the density of the stone and the granite and all of those things. But on the main street is what I'm gathering. The street is very big, so it's a giant street. So as you guys are go ahead.
Just yes.
Okay, cool. Just yeah, I wanted to give the opportunity for things to be contradicted. As you're just, let's say, a minute away from the town, dawn does begin to break across the frozen caps of this terribly tall mountain. A bit of morning mist begins to sort of lift up off of the ground as the stone that had been frozen deeper than solid under the weak rays of 10 a.m. sun into evaporate just a little bit. It's a fine mist. It doesn't raise higher than your knees. It's sort of like when you put water in a cup of ice. There's always there's just that little bit of fine cloud, kind of, that can pop up sometimes. The wind continues to howl, but it does die down as the sun begins to come out, does start to warm things. You can see there is very little hanging in the way of frosticles and things like that. It's all sort of gathered, and if it's ever big enough, it would have fallen by now. But there is frost on each of the buildings and the openings, the giant doors. Most of these places are covered in leathers that have been worn, furs and hides, dragon scales even. Much of it broken. These central towers are what appear to be large ballista atop different bone work ramparts. There are 4 of them that have set to guard central portion of this town. This central field is very large. It is more than just a town center. It would be the giant equivalent of a fairground, say. Much of the battle here has been organized, taken place. You can see that there are weapon racks that have been shattered. There have been carts, supplies that have been broken, scattered, spears jutting out of the snow. As you look around, it's the debris. You don't see much in the way of bone. I mean, there's bone, but the towers are bone, but those are dragon bone. Those are very old dragon bones, as it turns out. Sort of worked together and strapped and, used as an effigy of giant might. Zoom. And atop them, the structures are wooden and metal and well worked. But among the dead, there are a few other bones that you do see. They are goats, rams. They are like totems upon pikes, stacked high and tall. They create this odd perimeter around the center.
Can I do an Arcana check to see what this is?
Yeah.
Especially after
Terrifying. The answer is it's terrifying. Thank you.
Time with Raven. Would I recognize this as necromancy or anything?
Sure. Yeah. Make the Arcana check.
Fucking yes, smart.
Natural 1 for a 6.
Can I, if I'm assisting with her, give her advantage on that?
Sure.
Arcana?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Please roll again.
Yeah.
10.
So before we move on, you immediately do feel that this is some form of ritual. There is a magic component to it, absolutely. The nature of which you are unsure of. Necromancy seems likely, but the specifics of which you don't know. However, the reason it's difficult for you to devise is doesn't seem to be a purely arcane magical study. There seems to be a almost clerical or religious bent to it, and
So like something shamanistic.
yeah, perhaps, yeah. And divine magic doesn't always follow the arcane rules of study. Right, so if you'd like to add a religion check, that may provide you with some additional insight. Tauroth, you had something you wanted while she preps that roll.
Oh no, I was just scratching my beard. Sorry.
Oh, I thought I saw a hand lift.
Nope.
But,
My
okay.
bad. My bad.
All good. No worries.
6.
6. All right. Anybody trained in religion that would like to assist her?
I do not have proficiency in that.
Okay. Now, Talroth.
That was a hand.
Kronos, do you want to help me?
Given that we are in some kind of archaeological ruins, would I maybe be able to try a history check, see if maybe there's some kind of significance that way?
Okay. Yeah. Specifically because of your background, I will allow it. You would probably not be familiar with the history of these frost giants in the society, but because you are, what is your background is archaeologist? Yeah, you
Yep.
you would know modus operandi to like where to look and discover and what things to chronicle essentially as being important artifacts. So yes, I will allow a history check for that. Would anybody like to assist Talroth in that history check?
Again, not proficient. So never mind.
I will.
Great.
Roll better.
So a 23 total.
A 23. Okay, yeah. Clearly this was some form of religious rite. And as you're making your way around it, a few things strike you as being different and interesting. One of the important things to note about this is that it was done in the open air, right? This wasn't put in any sort of church or religious building. This wasn't put in a place where it would have been sacred or protected. You think that definitely adds itself to the magical nature of this event. The arrangement of the rams and goat heads, and honestly, you think there might be some like Auroch version of minotaurs up there too, which are kind of just like cold weather cows, big furry things, right?
Sure.
And there's a odd bit on the ground where the frost never collects. And it is over the entirety of the area. It doesn't seem to be etched or burned or charred or it's not like the there's no stone grooves like what you had run into previously.
Well, they're clearly amateurs then. Everybody grooves their sigils before they summon weird shit. Fucking novices.
Fortunately, not this time.
Damn it!
However, looking about, you can see that there's definitely a point, a focal point where whoever was leading this act would have been standing. And so you make your way over that side. It is on the north side of the circle. Have been traveling east to west, or no, east to sort of matter. Where you've been, you go to the north side. Let's just simplify my directions there. You make your way over to the north side near where the buildings are, and this area does seem to be the religious church, for lack of a better term. It does seem like it had been damaged previously, but wherever the damage was, it has been frozen over ice and repaired. Frost. The doors sit open, and as you make your way closer, feels somehow all the colder.
The moment I feel it gets colder, I'm just going to stop and back up a step.
Okay. The chill under your skin does linger just a second and passes.
Can I see into it?
Yeah, so you look into it. There are there are some like pews lined up. There does seem to be an altar on the far side. Can't make out the mural or the effigies that are within there, but you don't see anything, as it were.
Can I try going in?
Before you do, Fable would like to just gently, especially if he said it was a little colder when if there's something magical happening, she would like to just prestidigitate a sparkle or something and see if it dissipates or any happens to it when it crosses that threshold. Like if anything weird happens to the magic, to try to trigger a trap or to try to whatever, like,
okay.
I don't know, just in case.
Sure. Yeah, what sort of cantrip or spell or ability do you...
Honestly, yeah, Firebolt. I just will...
Firebolt? Yep, Firebolt goes
pew,
in.
pew.
It pews in. It lights up the area, and sort
And
of...
nothing immediately jumps and attacks?
Nope.
Great, let's go.
Before we go inside, though, for the circle, you said that the northern point was where the leader of the ritual would be.
Yeah.
The skulls that you were talking about, are they each at the 4 points, like north, south, east, west?
So we've talked about a lot of skulls. Are you the like skull totems of the rituals? Those
Yes.
are there are more than just cardinal directions on these. It forms sort of a ring, and they do not seem to. One of them maybe sits perfectly on a cardinal direction, but you think that's more happenstance than purposeful planning, right? And these are, I call them totems, just for descriptive nature, but they're not. They're shorter than a frost giant would be. Frost giant's about 21 feet tall. They're more like frost giant spears, which for medium creatures, sort of a tall pillar, right? 10, 12, 14, 15 foot pillar. The variety of skulls sort of jammed down onto it, sort of piked into the ground.
Okay, so this isn't so looking at it, this is more like a tribal ritual kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, and all the skulls would be more trophies that were planted on top of the spikes, or the
yes.
spears rather.
Yes. Yeah. That is a better visualization of what it looks like. Absolutely.
As usual, just going to quickly just jot that down. Just not detailed, just okay, I'll fill in gaps later, just circle that and just mark how many of those spears I see.
Okay, absolutely. And it should be noted that the nature of this ritual seems out of place with the rest of the architecture and culture that is to be witnessed here, right? Nothing else. It's not like every place is adorned with skulls. It's not like, every place has its that is it's unique specifically to here. Even the church doesn't it's not like hanging brutal savage effigies or things like that. This is different. This is interesting. Saride is making her way into the church, Fable nearby. Everybody else following? Komono? Alright. Saride, as you make your way into the area. So this church does seem to be relatively well intact, other than some damage in the front of it, where this longhouse has sort of been, the wall and corner had been bashed and broken. It has been refrosted over and shaped into an ice bit of wall, and the morning light does pierce through it and give it just a hint of hint of light.
It's like stained glass.
A little bit. Yeah, like frosted glass. A little bit. You're still relying a fair chunk on your dark vision just because there's not enough light for it to really separate itself out. This is a place for giants. There are chairs for dwarves and things like that, but much of the architecture and much of the seating and things is giant-sized, proportioned, right? So you're making your way in the area, creeping ever so slowly. Look along the walls, where they're dense iron. See a number of depictions, right? There are sort of murals or religious. I'm gonna just go with mural. They're basically pictures etched into there, right, that depict what clearly are sort of frost giant moments. Them battling. Some of them are battling what are clearly white dragons, white frozen dragons. There does seem to be a depiction of a storm giant that helped them once long ago. There's definitely a myth sort of nature to it, right? It is all kind of woven into this tree-like tapestry that stretches along one of the walls, and the roots of the tree sort of twist into and form icing and crags, and out of those other stories as it stretches ever closer and closer to dais, where religious figure they had would dare to speak. The mural behind it, what you can make out, was once a fatherly winter figure whose beard is wrapped up in the ice winds and lower extremities spread down in trees, whose hair lifts up in the sky and storms. It's very much a kindly, fatherly figure, stern and strong, but protective. Over that, painted in frozen blood crystal, is this horrid, bestial face. Its face of sort of a twisted, frozen owl bear. Monstrosity that is obstructing, that is overstepping, that is taken over the place of this kindly Father Winter Santa figure. And
I hate that.
down around the front of it, next to large sort of almost laid across it front, holding on to sides. You see this very blue, sort of impossibly blue figure. Giant. His head is down, but rather than the helms, the Nordic Vikings nose bridge skull caps that you've seen other places, here there's this fur. There's this thick, white, owl bear-like mane. that obstructs his head. Sweeps back. Alroth.
Does this mural look similar to some of the ones we saw depicted at the Warden's Towers with the avatars?
No.
Okay.
The thing is it an actual body that's grabbing onto the table?
Yes.
Is he alive?
Does not appear.
You know what? That's immaterial. Is he moving? That's really the question here.
Not moving. Not moving.
Two
Don't,
very different questions.
don't know if it's alive. Does not appear to be alive.
Fuck me. Okay, I'm going to carefully, quietly make my way up next to him. And touch his hand. His big blue hand.
Okay.
With my tiny pink body. I'm just doing my Lore Olympus cosplay.
Pretty high up there, but I will allow it. As you
He just jumps up.
Sure. Yeah. You drag over a dwarven chair, dwarven bench or whatever. You can stand on that, you know. As you make your way there. I do want to see one.
I'm
there.
very scared.
As you sort of touch it, cold, very cold gloves. The hand snaps. Hear the breaking of ice as it cracks and shatters, kind of rains down over you. And as the head begins to break through frozen ice that has come across it, it looks up as these dead white eyes and frozen beard. I would like all of you to for initiative.
Hi, my name is Fable. Do you want to be my friend?
I was gonna ask if I could have just booked it to under the table right away.
I'm gonna say no.
The minute I saw Sarai do something stupid, could I have gotten the fuck out of that building? Thank you.
And with the ace, I do in fact go, hi, my name is Fable. Do you want to be friends?
Okay. Well, it is your turn, Fable. Everybody goes before me. I believe it is Fable first, and then Sirach, then Saride, then Tauroth, and then Frost Giant Zombie.
Krampus. His name's Krampus.
But
We know
that-
what this is.
yeah, no, I know that this thing is going to kill us, so I am going to jokingly say that, but then panic and just, before anyone gets in range, fireball.
Okay.
I didn't ask how big the table was.
She can place it behind you. Behind.
Thank you.
Behind. The
Yep.
thing.
That's what I was hoping I could go early so no one else would
Okay.
be in the fucking way.
Dexterity saving throw from the Frost Giant Zombie
Yes.
is a 13 minus 2 for 11.
Yes! It's going to fail at my, well, this is big and terrifying, and if it's undead, it's gonna be a struggle. For my 6th level fireball.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll go ahead and
Bonus
roll.
action mantle of flame. Bonus action mantle of flame. Sorry, I'm saying it now.
Okay. Action Mantle of Flame.
Good, I get to re-roll these ones. They're 2s now. So 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34 points of fire damage.
That happened.
Because I rolled.
Not you.
11
Not
I know.
that. Not that.
Because I said I cast fireball.
Sorry. Okay. Hold.
Holding.
Ah. Sorry, I have been digitally tracking hit points and it signed me out of my Google account. Oh, I can't do that.
Oh, no.
anymore. All right, so what was the damage?
34.
34. Nice. Yep, it is not resistant to fire.
Yes.
So that does happen. Anything else? Any movement? You're about. You were right behind Saride, weren't you?
Yep.
So this is what I need. I need you actually. So at the start of your turn, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
You are within 10 feet of the frost giant zombie.
Done. $26.
Okay, so you get all your actions. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I will move.
Wh-
In case there's AoE effects happening, I will scatter a little.
Where are you scattering to?
To the right.
To the right.
Arbitrarily.
Off to the side, you go dashing past the table. Sirach, you are up.
Being slightly further back from the creature, I am going to take a hop, skip, and a jump back, and I am going to cast Hunter's Mark on the giant.
Okay.
And I am going to attack.
All right, let's do it.
First one is a 16 plus 9 for 25 to hit.
Yeah, absolutely will hit.
And the second one, natural 20.
Nice.
Okay, so let's roll the first one first. The first one is a D8 plus a D6.
Okay.
So that's 3 and 3 for 6, plus 4 is 10 damage.
10 damage. Nice.
And then, so for that, and then Vicious Longbow does a thing. When you roll a 20 on your attack roll with this magic weapon, the target takes an extra 7 damage. There we go. So it's max damage, then, right?
Yeah, so it is. So you get max damage. And the way I'm going to do this today, because I change it every day, why not? Let's keep it weird. So you get max damage. You did shoot the right arm, upper arm of the giant. It's the arm that is on the table. I don't think so. Just roll your extra damage. Max damage plus the dice, plus a normal roll of the dice, plus your 7. Go with that.
Hey, I literally rolled 2 3s again. So that is 8 plus 6 for 14.
Okay.
Plus 4 for 18.
Okay.
Plus 6 will bring me up to 24.
Yep.
Plus 7 will bring me up to 31.
That is correct. Sounds good to me.
There we go.
All right. After Sirach. Right.
Do I have to make a save?
You do. A Constitution saving throw. Sirach, where are you moving, or are you staying put? I've got you 10 feet behind Saride.
I was probably initially 10 feet behind Saride.
Mhm.
I probably moved my full movement back to get a good vantage point.
So 20 feet, or what's
25.
your 25 is your hopping speed, your bird hop
Mhm.
speed. Sounds good. All right, Saride, Constitution saving throw.
Natural 1 for 3.
Okay, so on a natural 1, you can't make more than one. You can take an action or a bonus action, but not both. And your speed is halved.
She is going to, as an action, in the Saturn, she's going to cast Bark Skin on herself,
Okay,
which brings her AC up to 16.
nice. Sounds
Guess
good.
someone has to be in melee, or else fucking Talroth doesn't get sneak attack. I love you guys. I'm going to die in this fight, but I love you guys.
Okay, sounds good. So that is your action, and you are staying put, staying within melee of.
Also, I'm pretty sure if I moved out of melee, just one little like flick from him would just erase me from existence. So I might as well stay.
Sounds good. With that, I believe we are up to Talroth.
Oh boy. Uh, Would it be possible to like rush in, hit, rush out?
Yeah, I mean, technically you can. He would get the attack of opportunity if you move out without disengaging, but your speed would allow it. Yeah. I'm putting you the same 10 feet behind Saride. She's within 10 feet of it. I mean, she's actually technically in melee with it. So you're about 15 feet from it, from being able to strike it with your melee weapons.
All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Just rush in, just draw the first sword, take a swipe at it, and then just disengage, get out of it.
Okay, sounds good. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
That's a 25.
25 does hit.
And I'll throw favored foe on this one.
Okay.
So that's going to be a grand total of 30 damage.
30 damage. Nicely done. Okay. I believe that is everything for Talroth. Awesome.
Yep.
With that, you can see the zombie, the frost giant zombie whose skin stopped rotting just because the world was too cold for it to deteriorate. It is freezer burned and sort of brown. It snaps and cracks as he moves. Lifts up off of the table with both of his massive frost giant arms, is going to reach under the table and then essentially hurl it just down the row at all of you. Like all of you to make dexterity saving throws.
Can it hit all of us? I scattered.
No, it's a big table.
Okay.
I appreciate.
I moved 30 feet. Like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's a 21-foot tall
Extra major.
giant.
Extra major.
So yeah.
Well, fuck my AoE choice then. All right.
You needed to move 50 feet for it to not.
You're good.
Catch
That was
you.
not. You're good.
You did right. I'm trying to reassure you that what you did was correct. You made the
6.
the choice.
10.
24.
20.
Okay. So, Sirach, you do not have evasion, correct?
I do not know.
You do not. Sounds good. You are going to take half damage. The rest, and Taroth, you take no damage. The other two of you are going to take full damage of 4d10 plus 6. That is 29 points of bludgeoning damage as the table goes scattering across the church and bashes into the benches. They begin to crash. The path behind you is now difficult terrain. Standing there unobstructed at its full height is this frozen female frost giant.
How tall are they? Like, what did you say?
21 feet on average.
Fuck, I can't even comprehend that, quite frankly. Okay.
2-story house.
Saride's at half. She's bloodied, by the way.
Move! Oh my god! I'm coming!
Okay. New round.
I'm coming
Taroth
eventually!
with the ace. Taroth up first, then the frost giant lady, then other people. Taroth, what would you like to do?
Rinse and repeat.
Okay. Forward, you come running. Saride still in melee.
That's an 18 to hit.
18 does hit, yeah.
That is a total of 28 between the sword, the sneak attack, and favored foe.
28. Nicely done. The blade pierces in and cuts across the frozen zombie flesh, which easily severs, snapping and breaking. Sort of buckles, almost falling to its knee. It is not doing well as you back away. However, now its turn. It looks past Saride at the nimble little wood elf that has been cutting it down to size, and it locks its eyes on you. The rest of the group can see them turn from what is zombie-like white, this frozen ethereal blue. I'd like you to make a Constitution saving throw. Off.
That's a 13.
13 is not enough. The frost giant's freezing stare pierces into the back of you as you wheel around. You see it, and the ice begins to creep up and over. Take a breath. Lungs begin to freeze. You are paralyzed until the end of your next turn, and you are going to take 10, 20, 34 points of cold damage.
34, you said?
Yes.
Ow.
Up next is Sirach.
Okay, I am going to get within 30 feet.
Okay.
So I'm gonna come back up, get closer to Saride, and I am going to draw a bow and wave my hands in front of him and cast Planar Warrior.
Okay.
Not cast, but invoke my Planar Warrior ability.
Yep.
And I'm gonna shoot him with a bow and arrow.
Let's do it.
First one's gonna miss, I think. 13.
13 does miss. Yes.
Okay. You jumped out. And then the next one is a 3. That misses even harder than the previous one.
Yes. That does miss as well.
Yeah. Bells. I am going to bonus action cast etherealness on myself,
Okay.
and as an ability for the Horizon Walker. And so for the next,
What was the action
the
for
end-
to invoke your planar warrior? Was that a bonus action?
oh shice. Well, no, Planar Warrior is a bonus action, but it is only invoked after a hit because I didn't hit.
Okay. All right.
It doesn't. It
That's
doesn't
fine.
invoke. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just
Yeah.
checking.
So I am on the ethereal plane right now.
As you slip into the ethereal plane, you look at the frost giant and you see, hey, and you see the variety of things, but there is definitely frozen spirit puppeting.
Okay.
Up next,
Also, this is what the ethereal plane looks like for anyone who needed to know.
very ethereally. Saride and Fable, who's got the higher dex?
I do.
All
I
right,
think. I'm assuming.
Fable.
Yes. I do actually do the wrestler tag. I just get like I know you are. I'm just letting you know I'm in melee so that we've got the sneak attack thing. You need to get the fuck out. And then I am how high up? You said it's 20 however feet tall?
21 feet tall.
Good, 21 feet tall. With 21 feet tall and the room being giant sized, I can absolutely cast another fireball that hits her top half and misses us if I aim it above her head.
Sure.
So, I would like to do so.
Okay.
I cannot cast it as high as last time because I burned a lot of charges with that
Okay.
first one. But let's go.
A natural 17 minus 2 for 15.
That's exactly the dex.
Okay.
So she'll take half damage?
Yep.
Because she doesn't have vulnerability to, yeah.
Nope.
That's fine. It's a 4th level fireball. So,
Is that all the charges on your wand?
yep.
Do you have to roll to see if it blows up?
It's a good question.
Well, first roll your damage, and we'll...
It does not say anything about rolling once you're done. It's just going to take longer to charge to reset.
Okay. I will double check. But roll your damage, please.
That's 31 points of fire damage.
31 points of fire damage is way more than what you needed. Doesn't matter.
What?
It had 5 hit points left.
Oh, fuck!
That is...
God damn it.
so yes, that is showtime.
Okay. Running and in her tiny, tiny, tiny Genasi body, trying to be a shield for a minute, she just fucking runs. And while trying to push Saride away, she just wand into the air with all of her might, overkill, shoots this sun into the sky, essentially. Because she watched how hard everybody got hit, and it's, I can do that! I can do that! Like, this is, I won't get hurt! Like, let's go! And it just blows the